Welcome to Queens Talking Reality. I'm Farron. This is.
Elisa.
And today we're talking about Housewives of New Jersey, season 13, episode 5, titled Driving Miss Crazy. So, they kind of showed scenes of the ladies with their husbands, blah, 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 moving right along. And it started with the scene with Danielle planning her daughter's birthday party, Barbie birthday party. And yeah, I saw your face. Nothing interesting happening there.
No.
I see the kids, I think about you. Nothing of interest.
Exactly, because I want to hear. I have not heard you yet say, "Oh my God, I really loved it. I love seeing the kids. I love seeing the party, the Barbies, the clothes." So it ain't just me.
Not really. I mean, I love seeing when parents like go all out for their kids. I love seeing it, but there was nothing of interest there. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. Not really. So nothing there. Then the next was Rachel and her family. Nothing again. What stood out for me in that scene was her having her daughter on the kitchen counter with her sandals on. Ugh.
I didn't even notice it. Was it? She was.
That.
But when you say on the kitchen counter, was she sitting? Was she standing?
Standing.
Oh no, I didn't notice that part.
On the kitchen counter with sandals. That's all I remember on that scene. Nothing again. The family came over, but that's what stood out for me. One thing that was interesting in that scene, she mentioned that John, which is her husband, has full custody of his son because the mother has some things going on. So I thought that was interesting. But again, nothing of interest in that scene.
Yeah, it was nothing. I didn't really get into that scene either with her.
Yeah, I would say the first 20 minutes was nothing to see. The next scene was Melissa teaching her daughter how to drive and basically tell her, don't get involved with the situations your brother and Teresa have. I want you to still be close to your cousins. Nothing of interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like nothing of interest.
Scene filler. Show filler.
Teresa and her daughters trying wedding dresses. She got emotional, think about her parents. Her daughter said if Joey doesn't come to the wedding, it's a wrap. Nothing of interest.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the daughter saying that because like I said before, to me, they do seem like they are all the way, like they're not trying to play mediator. Because a lot of times, even with me and my family, when it comes to like conflict, you try to be the mediator and try to see both sides. I do like the way her daughters are having her mother's back all the way. Because like I said, they were so rude to me when they were younger. So I did not think that they would turn out to be such like sympathetic, like, empathetic type of kids. I would think they would be like, "Mom, get over it. Like, come on, why are you being like a little bee?" So I don't know.
So they seem to like Louis. Teresa mentioned that, since Louis came, her daughter has improved and she was, very devastated her dad moved, but nothing of interest.
But no, that part, it did kind of, is that the part with Gia when she was talking in the confessional?
Yeah, Gia spoke in the confessional.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting, the part that she said, I don't know what changed and why my family's having such conflict with Joey and Melissa against my mom. And then she was like, it changed when Louis came in the picture. So to me, it was very like red flag. Like she said that things changed when Louis came into the picture. So to me, what do you mean you don't know what changed? That changed. Something happened. We need to delve into that. Like, is it Louis that changed things, putting pressure on Teresa and trying to sort of take her away from her family, kind of isolate her all to himself? Or is it the family, Melissa and Joey, being jealous because Louis came in the picture? I guess we're going to find out which one it is.
Yeah, she did make that comment. I mean, I don't know how the relationship was before Louis was in the picture. See, like they always had a bad relationship.
It was, but then before, remember, it was the other, he was like a douchebag, the husband prior to Louis. So to me, it's like, I think there was cause. Like, he actually had Teresa spend time in jail because of her husband. He was cheating on Teresa. Teresa's in denial about it now, but she kind of admitted that she kind of knew that he was cheating. So to me, it's like, would you watch your sibling, your brother, get like be a doormat and watch? Like, of course you're gonna say something and you're gonna have ill feelings toward that spouse. So to me, I feel like Joey and Melissa had reason to have an issue before too.
Let's see how it unfolds. The next was Jennifer and Melissa at lunch. Same old thing. Jennifer goes and talks about Margaret. She's mentioned that Margaret goes through friends. They show 3 friends and that Margaret was friends with. She's no longer friends with them. And she also mentioned that Margaret was trying to encourage Melissa to leave her husband, Joey, for a ball player. And Melissa was like, no, she didn't really encourage me. It was just like when me and Joey were having some tough times in our marriage.
What do you think about that?
I just feel like Jennifer was trash talking behind Margaret's back, kind of like putting doubt in Melissa's friend in mind on whether or not she could trust Margaret or if Margaret is actually a genuine friend. I think just what she tried to plant doubt on people's minds, especially the ones that's trying to become friends with Margaret. Right now, I don't know if I really like Margaret. I definitely like Jennifer. I'm still trying to figure Margaret out. But the fact that from what Jennifer is saying and Teresa is saying, it seems like Margaret do go through friends. So that's a pattern that's maybe something might be a little right with what Jennifer's saying. Maybe Margaret can't really be a genuine friend to someone. So I don't know.
I mean, I would have to know what the issues was because I don't see her as going through friends a lot. I don't. Like, I mean, they said this friend that she had an issue with. I know there was another woman on there, Sagi, whatever her name is. She was on there, so they had a falling out. I don't really know why. They didn't really delve into that. I think she got fired off the show, and maybe she has some feelings about that. And she was friends with Marge, but this particular friend, we don't know the details yet about it, but what do you think about Marge? Because Marge actually did admit to it, like, oh, you can have whatever that baseball player's name is, when she tried to uplift Melissa, when she was going through issues with Joe. And she said to Melissa, being her friend, like, listen, you can have anybody. Like, you know, if something were to happen with your marriage, you'll be okay. Do you think that could be looked at as Marge was kind of like trying to disrespect her marriage?
No.
Or do you think she was trying to uplift Melissa?
Uplift and be a friend. I would do the same. My friend is having problems with her husband. Call up like, girl, look, there's many fish in the sea. If you're not happy, leave his ass because you're a beautiful woman. You could get any other man you want. You could get a ball, you could get a millionaire. I don't think so. I think she was uplifting, encouraging. I don't think she was trying to say, go. She's like, look, go cheat on him.
Yeah.
I don't think she said that. She was like, well, if you're not happy and if you decide to leave him, don't be afraid. You could, move up. You could do better. You could upgrade. So don't be afraid to stay in the marriage because of comfort, because of money. You could do better. I think that's what she was trying to say.
And I think so too, and I would too. I don't know. I would see it as some kind of red flag if a friend is like on it every minute, like leave him. But I don't think Marge was doing that. Like, I think Marge was really being that type of friend that, like you said, I would be. And I would be like, listen, girl, don't be all depressed. You're going to be okay. Because some people do get suicidal when I know it's hard to go through a breakup if you've been married for 20 years. I've never been married that long. So, I mean, I've never been married anyway, but I haven't been married long like that. So to me, it's like, some people seem like they go into like a depression, maybe suicidal, feel like the world is over. And I would be that friend to say, girl, the world is not over. You'll be able to pick yourself up. So I would be just like what you said.
Yep. So I think Jennifer's overreacting, but Melissa did.
And Jennifer's just trying to create a wedge. She's trying to isolate Marge and kind of put her on an island by herself the way Jennifer's on the island by herself with Teresa. So I think she's trying to do that to Marge. She's trying to plant seeds in everyone's heads that will listen.
Seeds and doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Was with Jennifer Fessler. This was at Jennifer Fessler's house. So Melissa basically told Margaret what Jen said, about saying how you should watch your back with Marge. She's not someone you could fully trust. So she mentioned that. So, during the table, all the ladies coming in. I was getting annoyed with like, oh my God, you look so cute. Oh my God, it's a nice outfit. Compliments after compliments after compliments. I get it. We women, we do it. But after a while, it got annoying. I think they should just edit it. They should edit all those compliments out. They all look nice.
Exactly.
Ongoing compliments. Which is women encouraging women. So Danielle, they were asking her why she stopped talking to her boyfriend. She mentioned she stopped talking to her boyfriend. He was, saying negative things about her, making fun of her on Instagram. She blocked them and then they stopped talking. I think there's more to the story because
I definitely think so too. And to me, like she's lying about something. We need to get that brother on for even if it's not a full blown out, drawn out story. We need to find out his side because she's definitely hiding something.
Yeah, and it might be her fault. So okay, then Jen finally comes to the other Jen's home, and Margaret decides to confront Jen about talking behind her back to Melissa. And it became a screaming match. I had to even rewind to kind of hear what was said because they were just screaming at each other. What I did like is no one intervened. I was happy. I was like, let them go at it.
Me too, exactly. I want to hear what they got to say. Get some tea out of it.
So I was just like, good. No one intervened. I hate when there's an argument and you're like waiting to hear who has to say what. And where she go? Oh,
we gotta charge it up before we get off here, before we get logged out.
Okay. So I like the fact that they let them argue for a long time. It seemed like it was a pretty good time, and it was back and forth. Margaret says she, Honey, had genuine friendship. Margaret said to Jed that she only has a friendship with Teresa, which I guess is factual because Rachel and everybody else is talking about Jen.
Exactly. And she's talking about all of them and just being like.
Margaret also mentioned that Jen can't move forward. And she also said something like, Margaret said, you think she's going to love you more than me, which was kind of weird, which I think she's referring to Melissa, meaning if you're telling Melissa all the stuff about me, do you think she's going to love you more than me?
I think she was talking about Fergie, whatever her name is, Fessler.
Oh, the other Jen. Okay,
she was talking about Fessler, saying that because she was bad mouthing, Marge to Fessler. So I think, so I think in her mind it's like, how you bad mouthing me to? Whose team are you on? What team are you?
I don't like Jennifer, so I'm on Margaret's side because I don't like Jennifer. I don't know if
I can say I'm okay with Jennifer, but when it comes to a situation, even if I don't like somebody, I can still say like they're either right or they're wrong. So even though I'm on the fence with Jennifer, with all of her situations, majority of her situations in this instance, I'm definitely team Marge because I would have ripped Jennifer a new one. If somebody's coming talking about me to my friends, and then you just meeting these friends, and that is just so disrespectful on so many levels. Because usually you're gonna tread lightly if you know that's Jennifer's Marge's friend.
Yeah,
you would tread lightly. But to be having the audacity, the gall to go talk to my friend, one of my closest friends, about me, if my friend don't rip into them, first of all, I would have a problem with that. And once I get to this person, I would turn, that neighborhood they would have to call the cops. Because I don't know about Fester talking about, I got neighbors. Yeah, Marge did good.
Yeah, the only thing is, it depends. If I have a friend and somebody else talk about me, when she comes and tell me, she better be upset. Not like, you know what, Farrah, so-and-so called me. So I'd be like, girl, let me tell you what happened. What I told her, what she told me about you. It been one of those things where she went at her. Jennifer Fessler, when the other Jennifer called her, she was listening like, because Jennifer said the other Jennifer did not say anything. She kind of just listened in and didn't defend her friend. She said that. So I just feel like I would have to also question my friendship with someone who comes in like,
Yeah.
oh, when so and so talk about it, because I'm gonna be like, well, what did you say?
Mm-hmm.
You, how did you offend me? And I probably wouldn't even ask them. I want to see what they said. Like, when she was saying this about you, I said this. I don't want to hear, oh, this person was saying all this stuff about you, and you didn't tell me what you said back. Because
Yeah.
you wanted to tape, and you probably didn't say anything because maybe you're agreeing with what she's saying or something.
Exactly. That's why I probably would have been all over the place. I would have been coming at everybody. Shots would have been fired in all different directions. So I don't know. Marge did better than I would have done as far as holding her composure.
So Jennifer says to Marge that she has family, something that Marge doesn't know anything about. I don't know what that meant. I don't know the history on that because I'm still
because Marge had some issues with her stepkids that she kind of helped raise, so they're not speaking to her. Marge's her biological kids are like you never see them on the show ever. So I don't know what the story is with that. I think they just don't want to be on the show from what Marge says, but you really don't know like what that situation is about. But again, if I was Marge, somebody come for my kids, my family, I would have ripped into Jennifer. Somebody would have had to hold me. She would have been in tears because I just think Jennifer's delusional by saying that Marge is jealous of her. Yeah. I don't think Marge is jealous of her. Like, Jennifer's delusional about like her marriage. Like she has issues in her marriage. It is not as perfect as she's trying to, like make all of us like believe. It's not. Like your husband cheated on you. Who knows what he's doing now? And I would have planted some seeds in her head and been like, "Where's your man?" Like I would have came at her.
Yeah, she should have came at her with the cheating.
Yeah,
but she didn't.
You coming at my kids, and then you got a husband that cheated on you.
So what does Jennifer do? She has businesses. She has anything, or is she a housewife?
Just a housewife. What do you call them? A mother? I mean, I know that she's a mother, but I'm just saying, is it
housewife?
Yeah, caretaker, whatever you. Because you can still be a housewife, but what does it mean when you have the kids with and you take care of the house? Is it still a housewife? Because I could be a housewife without kids.
Yeah, I mean you could be a housewife without a kid.
Without kids. So I'm saying, isn't it more to it when you're a housewife and okay, whatever. I might be thinking too deep.
Stay-at-home mom.
Yes, exactly. That's what I meant. I knew there was like a specific like phrase.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was funny to me when Jennifer stood up and said, "Stop it! I have neighbors. It's not Teresa's house." So here goes Teresa. Yeah, because I have 6 acres. How many acres do you have? So I was like, oh. So when she said that, when she said Teresa's house, I thought like, you ain't gonna disrespect my house like you disrespected Teresa's. But I guess she meant the size of the land. Like I have neighbors that can hear you.
Yeah, I think it's because the neighbors are so close and they can hear and see the ghetto-ness going on in the backyard. I took it as that, but Teresa took it as, yeah, how many acres is this? Because mine is like she really had to kind of, inflate her own ego in that moment.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? So Jen calls Margaret old lady. I mean, Margaret do look like an old lady. Let's not get it wrong here.
You think so?
You think she don't look like an old lady?
I think maybe because you're new to Jersey.
She's old.
But she is, but to me, in comparison to the way she used to look, last season and a few seasons before that, I guess she has some tweaks and facelifts and stuff. So to me, she just looks much better than she did before. So to me, it's like a big difference and she looks so much better. So I don't know. She doesn't really look her age to me. So it's like when you look better than what you used to wear. She used to wear these frizzy, nappy looking pigtails I didn't like. And
she's at least in her 60s.
Yeah. I thought she could pass for her late 50s.
No.
Mid 50s.
She looks old. She looks old and she looks like she had surgery done to look younger, but still looks old. So Jen didn't say anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She basically asked Jennifer to leave, which I agreed because, of course, Margaret is her friend. But Teresa left.
I do respect that. First of all, I love
loyalty.
That's what I'm saying. One thing I love about when there's a fight or some kind of conflict going on, because I've been in situations like that, and I've been fighting alone when it comes to like, you in a situation where your friends are supposed to have your back. And a lot of times I always got to have my own back in situations where people feel like they're on the fence. They can't have my back. No, you need to stand up and have my back. We're not going to play no stuck on a fence, stuck in the middle. No, kick her out. I'm your friend and I stay here. Stand your ground when it comes to my friendship. So I loved that Fessler did what she did. She made Jennifer leave and told her friend to stay. And to me, that showed good, like, loyalty in that instance. And she's new on the show. So you would think that Jen Fessler would be like sucking ass in that moment. But she told Melissa, not Melissa, she told Jennifer, you got to go. Goodbye.
Yeah, but the fact that Teresa left too shows a lot of loyalty to Jen.
Yeah, Teresa, I just feel like, because I do give that some weight too, but to me, I just feel like Jennifer been up her behind so hard that it's like Teresa does have to show some loyalty every now and then, and just leaving. Teresa probably wanted to leave anyway.
But so I don't even know. You didn't leave and you didn't eat. I'm like,
Well, sometimes you don't want to be there. It's like she don't like Melissa. She don't like, I don't know. I feel like Teresa has her own agenda. I don't know if it was really to have loyalty toward Jen.
Yeah.
I just feel like Teresa just might have just wanted to leave in that moment. And she just wanted to, make it seem like it was loyalty because,
Use that as an excuse.
Because Jennifer is like, she's like a soldier when it comes to Teresa. So Teresa does have to show some loyalty. So she kind of threw a bone in that moment.
She went. So, and that was it for that scene. But it was a good heated argument. I like that scene. It was a good heated argument. Then they went to Danielle's daughter's birthday party. Danielle's. Nothing much there. The only thing is Rachel and Danielle talked again about the Margaret and Jen arguing and gave their take on that. Not much. They seemed like they were both in agreement with Margaret and didn't really like how Jen was, going around talking about her.
Yeah, I just feel like that was Rachel in that moment, right? You referring to
Rachel and Danielle.
Yeah, I just don't know why Rachel. I don't know. Rachel seems to be like. That's why I'm taking a liking to Jen Fessler, because Jen Fessler is not trying hard to, suck ass and stuff like that. Whereas Rachel is like, why are you still even having a conversation with Jennifer? Jennifer told you had a botched nose. Like, why is she having a conversation with her after she done told her, like, basically had her scurrying out in tears at Teresa's party?
Well, Jennifer did approach her. She was sitting there and Jennifer approached her kind of like that, said she was giving her history about Dolores and it wasn't talking trash about her. I don't know why she needed to know the history. I mean, let me see. If you just come into the front, if someone just comes to the friend circle, you're in a group of friends, this newbie comes and she probably notices tension between you and someone else. I would tell her the history as to why me and this person is not talking. I would.
I would if it's I don't know, but if it's your friend though, like I'm gonna tell your friend. I don't know why would I tell your friend about the beef that you and I have? Like I'm gonna go to one of your close friends. I don't know. I just don't feel like if it's Marge's close friend, isn't she friends with Marge? I mean, no, I'm sorry. Dolores. I'm getting confused. Oh no, she is new to the group, right?
Yeah, Rachel's new to the group, but Rachel says she's cool with Dolores. I would think if you're that cool with Dolores, Dolores probably already told you the beef between her and Jen.
Yeah, I probably would. I wouldn't mind. I would probably tell her too, though. Like that is true. I would tell her too about the beef. And that's my story to tell. If I got beef with somebody, if I feel a certain way, and that's not your BFF, yeah, I am gonna tell her. It's conversation.
That's what Jennifer was saying, that she was telling her the history, not just to talk behind Dolores' back. And she feels that Rachel is sneaky because she really called Rachel to talk about they both botched nose jobs. And Rachel basically just made it seem like she called to talk about Dolores. I mean, if I had a botched nose job, I saw somebody else with a bad nose job, I don't know if I would really call them and talk about it. I want to talk to somebody that had a good nose job. Unless she
but why would I talk to somebody? But why would I tell them that if you got a nose job and it's not like you coming to me crying to me about your botched nose job. I would never come to somebody. Okay, say I'm fat, I'm overweight. I'm never going to go to somebody else that I think is fat and overweight and start commiserating with them about how we both fat and overweight. Like, they may not feel that way. They may not feel the way I do. I would never put the way I feel about myself onto somebody else, no matter what they look like, if they got a botched nose job. That's what I'm saying. Jennifer is so like delusional and so out of touch. Like, she doesn't know how to, I don't know, she has some social issues that it's like, how don't you know? You don't just go up to somebody and start talking about if you think they got a botched nose.
Correct.
The girl don't think she got a botched nose, obviously.
Or maybe she knows, or maybe it's something she's insecure about it. Maybe she just wanted to talk to her and feel like, oh, somebody else that has a bad nose job in the group, not to talk to them. But if anything, if I saw somebody had a great nose job, that's the person I would want to talk to find out who's their surgeon. I wouldn't want to talk to somebody else that got a botched nose job. How the hell they gonna help me? They're not gonna help me.
I think it's like kind of like, like a support group kind of thing, like that whole, like we both and like, both got botched and stuff like that. We relatable, but I can see that would be the case if somebody did confide in me that they have a botched job. She didn't. Does the girl ever talk about, does Rachel ever say anything about her botched nose? She doesn't confirm that she feels that way about herself.
Well, we don't know unless there was a scene when she did, and that's when she exchanged numbers.
I don't think so, because that's a big part missing. Rachel seemed to be shocked and appalled when Jennifer said to her, I thought your nose job is botched too, just like mine. And Rachel seemed to be livid.
Like, really? I thought mine had a good nose job. Oh
no. Okay.
I mean, it looked botched to me. If Rachel think her nose look good, something wrong. It's botched.
But I'm not going up to the girl talking about you got a botched nose and I got a botched nose, so let's be in a support group together.
No, I wouldn't do that. So that's inappropriate. So did she really call to you or to talk about bad noses and use that as a way to talk about Dolores? Probably.
Yeah.
So, in that scene at Danielle's daughter's birthday party, one thing I did note, someone that stood out to me in that scene was Jennifer's daughter. I like that little girl. She's very sociable. She seemed very sweet, polite, nothing like her mother.
What did she do? I might have missed that part. I'd be zoned out when the kids come on.
No, she was talking. I think she was talking to, I think Rachel asked what she wanted to do. She said she wanted to be a psychologist. She was just a very sociable girl. When she said that, she's like, oh my God, you're a real life Barbie doll. She seemed very sociable and a really smart girl. So I was like, wow, she stood out to me in that particular scene. So I think she may not be a great person, but she's doing a good job with her daughter. Her daughter's personality, I like her personality. So Margaret told Rachel and Danielle that, so Margaret told Rachel and Danielle that Margaret is a master. Okay, so basically at that particular moment, here goes Teresa talking about Margaret being a master manipulator. And they need to pay attention.
Yeah, I think they're obsessed with Marge. They're obsessed with bringing Marge down.
And that Marge is a better friend than an enemy. So it's better to keep her as a friend than keep her as an enemy.
They're giving her too much weight. They acting like she's the mob or something. Like she affiliated with the mob. Come on. What is Marge gonna do? Why she gotta be your friend more than your enemy? Probably because they feel like she can dig up some dirt, but I would not be afraid of her. I just think they're just trying to bury Marge
Well, you don't
and
know
isolate her.
what inner circle she has. She might have some connections that we don't know about. For her to say, for Teresa, the leader of the pack, to say that, there must be a reason.
I think Teresa's still holding a grudge about what Marge, had to say about, well, not had to say, but the questions that she was asking about Louis when she first started dating him. I think you are not to question Teresa under no circumstances, whether you have BFF or a housewife. You are not to question her. And if you do, you're going to face the wrath. And I think that is what it is with Teresa. She's still holding a grudge. She's still not over that. And with Jennifer is still, I think she's worse than Teresa when it comes to Marge, because Marge brought out the infidelity in her marriage. Speaking of Jennifer. So I think once Marge brought that out onto the show, it kind of like punched all kind of holes in Jennifer's perfect marriage that she wants us all to believe.
So you think if Marge didn't bring it up, she would have kept that off the show?
Absolutely. It's been off the show. Remember, that happened 10 years ago. That happened before Jennifer even came onto the show. So it's been a secret all this long. Marge actually knew about it all these seasons. She just never said anything. But then it comes to a point where it's at a point of no return. And I'm like that too. Like, you can push my buttons, but then there's a certain point when it's like guns are going to be blazing. So, and I think that's what happened with Marge. And she didn't say anything. That happened 10 years ago. And Jennifer kept it a secret. She didn't bring it on the show at all.
Oh, that was 10 years ago. I mean, who the hell is going to bring that up? It's 10 years. I thought it was...
Oh, what? If you got beef, if me and you got beef, that's coming on the show.
Please, half of the house is probably cheating anyway.
Well, if I was one of the housewives and somebody had something to say about me, my mama, my kids, all these people, you best believe the cheating not even allegations, the cheating confirmation is coming onto the show.
No, I get it. But I didn't know it was that long ago. I thought it was something we said he cheated on.
No, it was 10 years ago when she was pregnant. He cheated on her while she was pregnant.
Oh, that's a deeper. That's deep.
Mm-hmm. That's some tea to extract on the show when you're talking about my mama and my kids and my family. And that's what Jennifer was doing when it came to Marge. And Marge never said anything all this time. And then you want to present this perfect marriage? So that's the time to bring it out. Even though it was 10 years ago, it still punches a hole into the optics you want to create.
And it's still a deep wound in there that you could rip let it bleed again.
Right? Rip the scab off.
Yeah. So that was it basically for that episode. It was nothing much. Just the big arguing between Marge and Jennifer. But after that, every other scene was
Yeah, I think this is like the brew before the storm. Like, it's brewing before it like overflows and explodes.
Because I feel like wanting to fast forward some scenes. So hopefully it gets better than this.
Yes. So that was it. So next, I don't know what's going to happen. They building up to this wedding of Teresa. I don't know if I'm interested. I was hoping they wouldn't show it, but I think they're going to have like an episode or a special of her wedding. But I guess we're going to see.
Yeah. So thank you for watching Queens Talking Reality. Please continue to like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah.
Follow us on TikTok, follow us on Facebook, and stay tuned next week for us to go live again for the next episode.
And we're doing Potomac after this. We're going live about the reunion, so stay tuned. Thank you for the guys that's in the chat. Thank you, Joanne, for always joining us. And thank you to the lurkers, too. Come on out and join us and talk, too. Let's engage.
Bye.
See you in a moment.